Wildfire injures 160 people in southern Europe. Before the news in details, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good morning and welcome to the news. My name is Nonya Mokoye. Now, the Anambra State Commissioner for Culture, Entertainment and Tourism, Comrade Don Onyenji, has called for the conservation of various forests in the state to help in erosion control. Commissioner Onyenji made the call during a one-day lecture held at Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University, Ibariam campus. Commissioner Onyenji, who urged the Anambra to plant economic trees in their various homes to promote lives and generate revenue for themselves, stated the importance of ecotourism and solicited for the protection of wildlife in various forests. He said the world-class tourist center, which will be built at Agolo Lake, would accommodate zoo where people can see varieties of animals. The commissioner further said that efforts are on to enlist Obunike Cave in the UNESCO World Tourism Sites, noting that one of the criteria is that the cave and the environment will be at its natural form. On his part, the Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Greg Nwakobi, represented by Professor Ndobisi Nsanya, said the event will create awareness about the effect of deforestation and help protect forest products. He called for the establishment of a zoo in the state for biodiversity as well as digitize the forest in the interest of posterity. In their contributions, the Chairman Governing Board, Anambra State Waste Management Authority, Dr. Emma Ezenwaji, and the Chairman Community Resource Management and Conservation Initiative, Professor Peter Nabude, said the event is important as it attracted professionals in related areas who deliberated on ways of tackling environmental problems in the state. They called on Anambra to take care of the environment to minimize the impact of erosion in the state. A director in Nigeria Conservation Foundation, Mr. Joseph Onoje, promised to partner Anambra State in preserving Anambra forests. Over 134.6 million naira worth of farm inputs are presently being redeemed by 1,260 farmers from across the 8 participating council areas of Anambra State. The farm inputs, which are for the 2022 wet season farming facilitated by FGN IFAD VCDP, will cover a total of 704 hectares of rice and cassava farms. Over now to our agri correspondent Ebeleze for details.
Monitoring the redemption exercise across the council areas by a team led by the Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Foster Ihejiofo, the team appreciated the degree of execution, compliance of officers and farmers' enthusiasm towards receiving highly subsidized inputs. Speaking, Commissioner Ihejiofo, who described the exercise as a gracious act of government in partnership with IFAD to ensure food security, appealed to beneficiaries to reciprocate the gesture by ensuring that the inputs are put to good use to produce food abundantly and at affordable rate. Dr. Ihejiofo warned that any farmer caught indulging in sharp practices with the input will lose the privilege, sanctioned and excluded from future distributions. The State Program Coordinator, Federal Government IFAD VCDP, Mr. Nnamdi Agwucha, explained that the inputs, which are redeemed at 50% subsidized rate, are purely for farmers that belong to cooperative societies and cultivate 1 to 5 hectares of rice or cassava farm. Mr. Agwucha specifically announced that while a hectare of rice farm is entitled to 4 bags of 200 kilograms of NPK fertilizer, 2 bags of 100 kilograms of urea fertilizer, 40 kilograms of certified rice seed, and 2 liters of both selective and non-selective herbicides. A hectare of cassava farm will receive 4 bags of 200 kilograms of NPK fertilizer, 50 bundles of certified cassava cotton, and 2 liters of both selective and non-selective herbicides. He, however, appealed to the federal government to allow the state coordination offices of federal government IFAD VCADP to commence budget implementation after it has been approved at the state level by the communities and steering committee to avert late distribution. On his part, the head, State Project Coordinating Unit SPU, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, saddled with the responsibility of monitoring donor agencies' projects domiciled in the state, Mr. V. Nwankwo, described the redemption exercise as impressive, going by its transparent nature.
These inputs are given as subsidiary direct. You heard that. They should utilize these inputs because inputs are very expensive now in the market. So they should put this into maximum use so that at the end of the day we'll get bumper harvest. Anambra will not be the home for every other Nigeria to come and get food.
Speaking on behalf of other farmers at Orumba South Secretariat Umunze, the redemption venue for farmers from the council area, Mr. James Igweka, who lauded the federal government IFAD VCADP for subsidizing the inputs for them, building their capacities and bequeathing to them best agronomic practices, promised their readiness to reciprocate the gesture by putting the inputs into good use. From Achala, in Oka North local government area, Ebele Eze, reporting for ABS News.
A one-day intensive training of extension agents and liaison officers on criterion for identifying success stories and basic photography skills has ended with a charge on participants to go into the field and fish out champions using the success story template. The training, organized by the FGN IFAD VCADP, took place at the Agricultural Development Program Office in Oka, with the State Program Management Unit, SPMU, extension agents and liaison officers from the 8 participating council areas in attendance. Our agri correspondent again, Ebeleze, now reports.
Declaring the training open, the State Program Coordinator, Federal Government IFAD VCADP, Mr. Nnamdi Aguncha, said the participants would be nurtured on basic skills on how to discover beneficiaries who have distinguished selves through their field activities for further expansion of their scopes. Mr. Aguncha also added that apart from expanding their scopes, they will also build their capacities further and make them role models for other farmers to learn from. While describing the training as apt considering all that have happened since the inception of Federal Government IFAD VCADP in 2015, Mr. Aguncha noted that a lot of positivities have happened in the lives of beneficiaries, as according to him, a lot have built houses, bought cars, lands, and easily pay their bills.
Listen very attentive to this, because maybe I will also blame myself. But maybe one of the guys before I woke up. Oh, no one ever asked me, don't they make money, cannot make money? Don't they make money? I'm a busy idea. Who's going to publish it?
Taking participants on criterion for identifying success stories, the Knowledge Management and Communication Officer, KMC, Federal Government IFAD VCADP, Mr. Henry Aniaboso, defined success story as a human interest story that highlights success or achievements of VCADP by focusing on the impact of an intervention, innovation, or technique and how it contributes to change in value chain development, individual value chain enterprise, or groups' lives. Mr. Niaboso urged the participants to keep their discoveries simple and succinct, write clearly without using jargons, and ensure that there is a clear before and after for a well-spelled out success.
The cooperative came into life at so time, you understand? Then, we talk about the personal background, age, marital status, number of dependents, you understand?
For some of the participants, including the extension agent from Ayamelum Council area, Mr. Humphrey Nzepu, his Orumba North counterpart, Mrs. Ngozi Nwankwo, and the liaison officer for Anambra East Council area, Mr. Chukwudi Chukwuka, they have too many success stories from their council area that need to be shared for encouragement.
Upgraded them, gotten out of their whole livelihoods. Currently, we have lost many of them. Are now be able to pay their students' school fees. Some of them have their vehicle, they buy motor cars. Some other ones that now have to do storyboard. They want to do so many things. In fact, the levels of the federal agencies now, most of our farmers are now very many of them.
The training ended with a lecture on basic photography skills by Mr. Chibike Agobuisi, question and answer session. In Oka, Ebele Eze, ABS News.
And the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development has commenced training for 21 community orientation and mobilization officers for the federal government enterprise and empowerment program. The trainees, who are from the 21 local government areas of Anambra State, are expected to give orientation and enroll poor and vulnerable people through a digital process to benefit from government credit under the National Social Investment Program. Our correspondent Kenechukwu Chukwudi has details of that report.
Section, which held at National Orientation Agency office in Oka, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Mrs. Sadiya Farouk, in her address, noted that the training is currently ongoing in the 6 geopolitical zones of the country and being digitalized to make the process less cumbersome and for easy implementation. Represented by Mr. Sule Chugudo from the ministry, who also emphasized that those enrolled will be properly verified using different indices for them to benefit, and urged the trainees to double their efforts while carrying out their assignments to ensure results.
I think this thing will cascade down to the grassroots. That's why it is called community orientation mobilization of officers that will go down to train. These people will actually be involved in training people to get the ability to be self-independent, self-reliance, and to achieve what I would regard as self-actualization.
The state's NOA Director, Barrister Charles Nwoji, in his remark explained that the challenges encountered in the field during the first phase was taken into cognizance to ensure success in the second and subsequent phases.
The training will be a success, and it will achieve its purpose of ensuring that a large number of Anambra citizens benefit from the NSIPs, especially the JIP 2.0 program.
Some beneficiaries who spoke during the training include Mr. Peter Onuibu, who is in charge of Ayamelum, and Mrs. Ifoma Ume, in charge of Oka South, said the training has added value and will help them do their work better.
Happy that I'm part of it, registering the poor that will benefit financially. If I can put a smile on somebody by registering that person, and that person is lucky enough to benefit from it, I'll do it with all my heart.
The NOA Deputy Director of Programs, Mr. Joseph Uchendo, and that of Administration, Mrs. Ijoma Nzewi, also attended the event. In Oka, it's been Kenechukwu Chukwudi for ABS News.
Nigeria's Security and Civil Defense Corps has arrested a 7-man syndicate specialized in vandalizing electrical installation across Anambra State. The arrest was carried out by men of the NSCDC during the week following credible information by residents of Obeledu and its environs. Correspondent Chibuzo Obidike tells us more.
Suspects have been terrorizing the community and specialized in acts of vandalism of electrical installations, stealing and disposing residents of their belongings. According to the state commandant of NSCDC, Mr. Chukwudi Chikere, the command activated a combined team of intelligence and investigation operatives who stormed the area and arrested the suspects. Chinedu Onyimonyi, aged 34, from Onweke Izan local government area of Ebonyi State. Promise Chikamso, aged 32, from Oji River local government area, Enugu State. Sunday Nwube, aged 32, from Onweke Izan local government area of Ebonyi State. And Solomon Nwankwo, aged 22, from Okofia is a local government area of Ebonyi State. Others are Ejike Stephen Ogonna, age 20, from Onweke is a local government area of Ebonyi State. Johnson Chigozie, aged 23, from Nduku Amaika is a local government area of Ebonyi State. And Solomon Nwafo, aged 28, from Onweke is a local government area of Ebonyi State, all males. Mr. Chikere pointed out that on investigation, the suspects admitted to committing the crime and pleaded for mercy, promising not to engage in such again. The state commandant, Mr. Chikere, while appreciating his men for their quick response, has ordered for discreet investigation, after which the 7 suspects will be charged to court. He therefore appealed to members of the public to assist the NSCDC and other security agencies in the state by giving them useful information that will assist in tracking down criminals within their areas. Exhibits recovered from the suspects include bundles of wire, 300 SQ-UPV casing pipe, shifting spanners, and mud pump. Chibuzo Bidike, ABS News.
On the national scene, the Chief of Defense Staff CDS, General Lucky Irabo, has reiterated the commitment of the Armed Forces of Nigeria to tackling the prevailing security challenges bedeviling the country. Mr. Irabo gave the assurance at the 40th anniversary dinner and award night of the 32 regular course of the Nigerian Defense Academy, NDA, on Saturday in Abuja. He commended the members of 32 Regular Course Alumni Association for their services to the nation while in service and after retirement. The CDS said that the armed forces still need their advice and suggestions to redress the security situation in the country. He urged the retired senior officers to also help educate citizens on the need to support the military as they strive to ensure peace and stability in the country. On the foreign scene, strong winds and hot weather have frustrated French firefighters' efforts to contain a huge wildfire in the Bordeaux region for its 5th straight day on Saturday in one of the several wildfires scorching Europe this week. Some of the worst fires seen so far have been in Portugal, where the pilot of a firefighting plane died on Friday after his plane crashed while on an operation in the northeast. It was the first fire-related fatality in Portugal this year. The blazes have injured more than 160 people this week and forced hundreds to be evacuated. On sports news, reports say that Kano Pillars bid to avoid relegation from the Nigeria Professional Football League (NPFL) has been dealt a huge blow as the Nigerian Football Federation has turned down the club's appeal against the 3-point deduction sanctioned by the Federation's disciplinary committee. The verdict sees Pillars drop to 19th in the NPFL log with 42 points. 5 points from safety with a game left to play this season. The 4-time NPFL champions were docked 3 points by the league management company for the unprofessional conduct in a match day 31 fixtures against Dakada at the Sani Abacha Stadium in Kano, where match officials were assaulted and media equipment of the visiting teams destroyed. Well, on that sports news, we wrap up the news, but just to remember, you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television Oka. Follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. On the main news again, Commissioner Onyenji has proffered solution to erosion menace. Government is to partner with IFAD to ensure food security. Nigeria Army has reiterated commitment in tackling insecurity. And on the foreign scene, we brought you a report that wildfires have injured 160 people in southern Europe. And the special message, Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that's the news. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Nonya Ngokoye. Good morning and have a great day.